Welcome to Better with Byler's. Today we're making a unique, flavorful, and veggie-filled spin on eggs for breakfast. It's called Eggs in Purgatory. Perfectly poached eggs in a spicy, robust, and peppery marinara sauce, and we're topping that with crispy, cheesy, spicy croutons. Let's get cooking. So let's get started on the tomato sauce. I'm actually using a shallow but wide diameter pan for this. I think it's just a little bit easier with the shallower pans to get those eggs in the tomato sauce when the time comes. So I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, about 1 or 2 tablespoons, and let this start to heat up on low-medium heat. The first ingredient is your onion. So this is an easy way to get perfectly even dices on your onion. Cut it down the center. Then we're going to leave that stem intact. Cut off one end. We're gonna peel back the onion. Again, that stem is still intact. Hand flat on the onion. Go into the onion, down. Then that stem is going to keep everything nice and together so there's no slipping and sliding. And you're gonna rock your knife right down the onion. And there you go, perfect dices on the onion. And the stem goes into your bowl. Let's do the other half. The onion's gonna go into the pan. Now we always start with onion first because garlic will burn, so we wanna add that a little bit later, give the onion an opportunity to start to get translucent and cooked. We'll turn the heat up to medium. Next, 2 to 3 carrots. This is going to add a nice sweetness to your tomato sauce. And of course, another opportunity to get antioxidants, veggies, colors into your meal. I remember eating this dish as a kid. We always had marinara sauce, either jarred or left over in the refrigerator. And so it was really common breakfast that we had. It brings me back to sitting around the table with my family. It's a really great memory. We're gonna get a dice on the carrots. Round objects tend to roll, and that's of course how we injure ourselves. So I cut the carrots down the middle and lay them down on their flat half so I can get a nice even dice on them. Let's put the carrots into the pan. You can smell those onions already coming alive. Yum. Now we'll get some garlic, kind of give it a smash, and however many garlic cloves you want. I'm using about 4. Okay, and then just a rough chop on the garlic. We want to make sure those pieces are nice and small because we don't want a mouthful of garlic, especially to start your day. I'm turning my heat back down to low when I add this garlic. Once you burn garlic, you're done. Your whole dish is ruined. It gets very bitter and unpalatable, so you want to be very delicate with your garlic. Now we're gonna season the sauce. About 1 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin has such a warm, smoky flavor. It really is nice in this sauce. 1 teaspoon of salt. Always measure your salt. And cracked black pepper. Now I like to add the seasonings first before I add the tomato sauce and we're simmering that sauce because the heat is just going to liven up and awaken all those spices. So we'll let that saute for about a minute or 2. So now that our veggies have had a chance to saute a little bit, get some color, the onions are translucent, and those spices have really come alive, we're going to add 24 ounces of crushed tomatoes. Then we'll add a little water to our jar just to zhuzh out the rest of the tomatoes. And yes, that is a professional term. Some fresh herbs. So I have parsley, basil. There's just nothing like fresh herbs. Of course, you could use dried, but whenever I can get fresh, I really try to do so. And then just a rough chop, stems and all. Don't go crazy. We're gonna give this a quick mix. Tomatoes are a very rich source of lycopene, which is a potent antioxidant, and what's really neat, and this isn't the case with all antioxidants, but lycopene in particular is more bioavailable when it's in the cooked form in tomatoes. So we're actually getting more of it to absorb in a cooked tomato sauce versus fresh produce. The last and final ingredient I'm adding to the sauce is the sweet pepper relish from Byler's. I love the pepperiness it adds to this sauce. What I love about having Byler's on hand, it's always stocked in my cupboard, is they use fresh ingredients. So if I don't have a chance to go to the grocery store that week, this is perfect, convenient, and easy to incorporate into my favorite recipes. And I'm using the sweet pepper relish, not the spicy. I'll use that later in the croutons. Now this is really neat. This is a certified low sodium product according to the FDA. So they've actually gone through the process to get it certified as low sodium. So if you are on a low sodium diet for cardiovascular reasons or anything else, this may be a product that you'd want to try. The really neat thing about the pepper and tomato combination is both items are actually very rich in vitamin C. So sometimes instead of grabbing an over-the-counter supplement, I just eat more tomatoes and more peppers. Now we're gonna pop the lid on and let this sauce simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes. Let all of those flavors come together as we make our crispy croutons. The perfect garnish for these eggs in purgatory. So you're gonna take your favorite loaf of bread. Did I bake this? No. Get any bread you like. And we're gonna slice these into about 1-inch squares. Whenever you're cutting something soft like bread, use a serrated knife. It really helps to cut through that item a lot more easily. It also helps if your bread is a little stale. So day-old or couple-day-old bread really works well with this recipe. Whenever I make this, I always make a few extra because somehow they always end up going missing off the pan before we actually serve the meal. Now to season them up, I'm using the hot pepper relish, so a little bit of a spicy condiment. Of course, if you don't like spicy, go ahead and use the sweet pepper relish. We like things with a little spice here. So a little bit of this into a bowl. Just depends on how spicy or peppery you want it. Some olive oil. Give it a mix. Then we'll pour this over our croutons. Quick toss. Make sure every bit of those croutons is covered with your olive oil and that spicy, peppery relish. And then top it with your favorite grated cheese. I'm using Pecorino Romano cheese. The cheese is also going to help all of those little pieces of pepper stick to the croutons. It's gonna be really good. And when you think you have enough cheese, it's okay to just grate a little bit more. Just go for it, right? We'll give these another quick toss just to get cheese on all sides. Then we'll broil each side on low for about 2 to 3 minutes until they're crispy and golden brown. As our croutons are toasting and our sauce is simmering, let's crack our eggs. I find cracking them into little bowls, if you have them, is a lot easier to drop them into your sauce. Plus, in case you ever get a rotten egg, you always want to crack them separately before adding to your main recipe. We're cracking 6. Do you hear the cheese sizzling? The crispiness, crispy. Oh, these are gonna be perfect. So we'll give these a minute to cool down and we'll drop our eggs into our sauce. Our sauce has been simmering for about 20-25 minutes. You can see it starts to thicken up. All of those veggies are nice and soft, and that's how you know it's ready to drop your eggs. Turn it down to low. We'll move a little sauce out of the way and drop our egg. So we're gonna pop the lid on and let those eggs cook. Now don't worry about them getting runny. The protein from the eggs will actually hold them together, and you'll let those go until your desired doneness. Our eggs are ready, so let me show you how to plate these up. They're looking fantastic. So I like to put a little sauce down, and all of those veggies are soft, cooked. The herbs have really permeated the whole sauce. Then we'll grab one of the eggs. Delicately, I like to use a slotted spoon. Put it right over the sauce. Some of these crispy croutons. And of course, then we'll use these to clean all that sauce off our plate when we're all done with our eggs. These are spicy, they're cheesy. Some more cheese. Can never have enough cheese. And then we'll top it with some fresh basil and fresh parsley. I mean, how beautiful is that? Now, it looks beautiful, that's for sure, but how does it taste? Let's see. That runny egg, this spicy sauce. That sauce is bright, it's acidic, it's a little peppery. These croutons are cheesy, they're salty, they're spicy. And that egg, so runny and gooey, absolutely perfect. We're gonna sop up some of that sauce with this spicy, cheesy crouton. You can find the full recipes from today's episode at bylersrelishhouse.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and follow along for more episodes of Better with Bylers.